can make it happen, okay? But you have to get off the couch.
Yes.
You have to have the drive, you have to have the ambition, and you have to keep pushing because these setbacks, they happen, and they're going to happen a lot of times on a daily basis. And, I go back to one thing our mother always said to us. She always said, real simple, just 3 words. She would just say, why not you? Maybe be in a very low place at this point in your life, you will come out of it. Try to keep that positive attitude at all times. It is so hard to do.
Welcome back to 22 Elevate. I am so excited to have our special guest here. He is the...
Good use of words.
What?
Special.
Special.
Yeah.
See, you guys will get it in just a second. So he is the co-founder of The Comfy. This is The Comfy. This is the blanket that's a sweatshirt. And you'll learn a lot more about that later. He's been featured on Shark Tank, QVC, Good Morning America, and 2020. How cool is that? I just found out that 2020 is running for how many years?
42 years.
42
Incredible.
years.
Yeah, we're going to be
incredible.
on next week. So I believe,
Excellent.
yeah, November, no, geez, what is today?
It's not November.
February. It's been a busy 3 years to say the least, but yeah, it'll be February 26th, I believe it's airing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think this will actually come out after that, so you guys can go
Okay.
back on 2020 and watch his segment. Make sure you watch because he's amazing and you guys will find out more. But he's not only special because he is the co-founder of The Comfy and he's an amazing person in general, but he's special because he is actually my best friend's fiance. So I am super excited about that because we're pretty much family.
Of course we are.
Yes.
Yeah, loving this. So happy to be here, so happy to do this. And so that whole special thing, my name is actually Michael Special, okay, with an E on the end, so it's special with an E on the end, but we do pronounce it special. Some people would say Speciale, and all that, little Sicilian flair in there, but it is special. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Because is he not special already? Okay, so Michael, I want them to know a little bit about you. I want them to get to know you,
Sure.
the company, your mindset, all the little things that people don't usually get to see behind the camera. So we're kind of doing behind the camera, behind the person, behind the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
tell
can
us.
start it off. I can start off the whole story, really. It started just 3 years ago, believe it or not.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible. So the way the story goes, the way that the whole Comfy came about, I was going through a divorce. I was in the depths of despair. Okay, a lot of you out there have probably been through it and all that, or whether it's just a breakup, whatever it is, you lose your job, whatever it may be. Just down on your luck, hard times, feeling like, how am I going to get myself out of this, right?
And I remember we used to kid around about our divorce papers. Who
Yes.
was going to get them in first?
Yes, we did.
And I
It was a
filed
race.
mine first. Yeah, I filed mine first, and
did.
he actually got it.
You filed first, but I closed first, if you want to say that.
Yes,
I was able to move
exactly.
on quicker, so which is great. But that's all part of the story as well. But it was just about 3 years ago. I was going through that divorce. I was like 9 months into it, and all of a sudden, I came up with this idea. And the reason I came up with this idea is I was staying at my big brother's house. My brother Brian, he took me in when I was going through a divorce, bless his heart. And one morning, I get up and I walk out to his living room, and on the couch is sitting his 7-year-old son. His name is Saxon. He's sitting on the couch, but he's not just sitting there. He is completely bundled up. I'm looking, what is he wearing, right? And he has my brother's old hoodie on, but it's my brother's hoodie, so it's like an XL man's hoodie, but it's a 7-year-old that's wearing it. And so he's sitting there, and he has his knees pulled in, he has his arms pulled in, he has the hood up, and he's just sitting there playing one of his video games, kind of in his own little world. And I just look up and I'm like, wow, Saxon, you look so warm and comfy. And I'm just like, kind of a light bulb moment. I'm like, look over at my big bro. I'm like, bro, you think they make these for adults? You know? And he just goes, make what? He's totally oblivious, right? I'm like, just oversized sweatshirts for adults, that they could wear, and they're just huge on them, and they can pull their arms in and their knees and get all warm and cuddly in there. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe they do. Maybe they, should, right? We all like that feeling of security and warmth, you know? And there was a blanket laying over the back of the couch right next to Saxon, and it had that Sherpa lined. It was Sherpa lined like this, and it had the microfiber on the outside. And we're just kind of looking at each other like, yeah, maybe we could make it out of that material, right? And that's where the Comfy was born just about 3 years ago. And so at that point, we said, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, we need to get this, kick this into gear, maybe see if we can get a prototype made and all that. But first thing you have to do is you gotta scour the internet, you gotta Google it, you gotta look everywhere to see if you can find a product anywhere like that. Because if it's out there, you're too late, which has probably happened to a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
Like, you come up with these great ideas, which they're great ideas for sure, but somebody else already did it. Somebody else has already took it to market, whatever it may be. So my brother and I looked for a few weeks. We researched it, found an attorney to research it for us as well. We didn't find it anywhere. We're like, okay, you know what? Let's go for it. But I can tell you one thing, without my brother and I being together on this, it would not have happened. That's the thing. If it was just myself, it was just my brother, it potentially probably would have died.
It's a team
for
effort.
sure. It's an absolute team effort. Somebody's down. It's always, I love having a partner, in my brother with this business, because if I'm down or whatever, or I don't have an idea, or I don't want to move forward with something, he lifts me up. And it goes both ways, or I'll lift him up, right? So we kicked around for a few weeks, and we said, okay, let's go ahead and find a prototype maker, which we were living in Phoenix at the time, and we found a prototype maker out of Mesa, Arizona. And they made us a prototype in a month or so, and we got it, and we're like, it was okay, but it wasn't good enough, so we had made some refinements. They came back with a second prototype, and oh my gosh, they nailed it. Yes. On the second prototype. Like, this is it. Like, we're on to something here. From there, what did we do with that prototype? We said, this is a perfect product for Shark Tank. It's like, is there any way we can get in front of the sharks? Just get this product in front of the sharks and see where it goes. My brother and I said, yeah, why the hell not? Get up off the couch and just go for it. So there was an open casting call up in Denver, Colorado. And we said, all right, let's fly up there and let's try to get in front of the sharks.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, by the way, because you go up to one of these open casting calls and there are, well, every year there's about 40,000 companies. Jeez. 40,000 companies that try out for Shark Tank a year.
Wow.
And only 100 of those companies actually end up in front of the sharks each year. So your chances are tiny in order to actually get all the way through and get in front of the sharks. So my brother was sitting around one night and he's like, man, we need something catchy in order for when we get in front of this producer that she'll remember us or he'll remember us and we can actually, move on to the next round. Because that's only the first round. And he calls me one night, he goes, bro, he's like, I think we need to sing.
Yes!
Huh. We both have never sung in front of anybody in our lives. And immediately I said, okay, let's do it. I'm in. Why the heck not? And my brother's his background's in TV production and directing, things like that. Ran his own company for many years. And so he knows TV. He knows it's about entertainment. So he said, okay, let's do it. So we put it to a Christmas song, Christmas jingle, because believe it or not, we said if we make it all the way through this and actually get in front of the sharks, not only do we want to get in front of the sharks, but we want to be on the Christmas episode on top of that. That was our ultimate goal, which we made happen because we kept pushing.
Beautiful.
And it's the holiday season, so we're going all in on this one.
It's our big moment, bro. Let's go for it.
You're sure about this?
I'm ready.
Oh boy. 'Tis the season of the comfy, fa la 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 la. It's the blanket that's a sweatshirt, fa la 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 la. Stay warm and cozy. It's the comfy, the perfect gift for anyone on your list. Get one now before they're all gone. Fa la 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 la. It's comfy time.
This isn't just a sweatshirt, but you are wearing a blanket. It has become an absolute wearable blanket. This thing is enormous. It just completely swallows you up. I mean, it's huge. I think it's about a 76-inch waist now at the bottom, so it's not supposed to be form flattering. Let's keep that in mind. This is supposed to be your final layer. It goes over anything. A lot of people compare it to the Snuggie. This is anything but the Snuggie. Why? Because it's closed in the back. So, all right.
That makes a difference.
You can actually get up. Exactly. You can get up off the couch and actually walk around as opposed to falling over yourself. So
Yeah.
this is nothing. Now, the Snuggie Success, they've done incredibly well, but it's a novelty item. You buy it once, you laugh about it. This, you buy it, you put it on, and you realize, where's this been my whole life? And you find yourself waiting to come home or to put it on, or getting up in the morning and putting it on. It's the perfect giftable item to anyone and everyone. We all have that person you don't know who to buy for, right? This is it right here, because it's any age. You can buy this for a 3-year-old up to a 93-year-old, any size, any shape, any form. And it's unisex too, for sure. So I know there's kind of a long story, but that's part of this, right? So
Exactly. No, and this was my comfy that Michael gave me when it first started.
Yeah.
And we're kind of laughing about it because he's looking at this and he's
oh
like,
my gosh, I
"What?"
grabbed it. I'm like, what is this Sherpa? I'm like, this is like the original Sherpa way back when.
I'm like, what's wrong with my comfy? I love it.
This is all good quality, and I mean, it's soft and luscious and everything else, but we have improved so much over the last 3 years. It's just incredible to me. This thing belongs in the Smithsonian.
Oh
It
my
really
gosh!
does.
No, don't take away my comfy.
This is one of the originals. Okay, this should be framed on your wall maybe or something like that. But don't worry, we can get you more. So I know a guy.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
And we have so many more colors now and everything too.
Which I love. I love, love, love all their colors. And they have even not just colors, but different designs as
Patterns,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have camel patterns and
Love
plaid
it.
patterns and all types of different things now.
Love it.
We're getting
love
we're
it.
getting into so many different areas and all that. The business has absolutely exploded over the last 3 years.
I love it.
Which is going great. But the drive was always there to make it happen, and it was always in our heads that we could do it. So,
When you were pushing,
mhm.
what kind of mindset did you have to have for that to keep going? I mean, you kind of mentioned that you and your brother keep each other going.
Right.
But I mean, what did that really mean? Like, what did you have to do to push?
Gosh, the internal drive. And I go back to one thing our mother always said to us. She always said, real simple, just 3 words. She would just say, why not you?
That's really good.
That's it. It's as simple as that. She's like, all these other people out there, and it could be as simple as getting good grades in school at the beginning, and she could just look at you, and the other kids are getting A's or whatever it may be, and she's like, well, why not you? It's like, why can't you do that? And she's exactly right. Or whether it's you want to grow up to be a professional baseball player or whatever it may be, why not you? Or you want to open your own business and you want to start your own company, your own product, like, why not you? Why does it have to be somebody else that's in front of the Sharks? Why not you? Anybody can make it happen, okay? But you have to get off the couch.
Yes.
You have to have the drive, you have to have the ambition, and you have to keep pushing, because the setbacks, they happen, and they're going to happen a lot of times on a daily basis. And you have to get past that.
That's really important what you
Mhm.
said. The setbacks happen no matter where you are at, whatever business you're in, and not even in business, in personal lives.
Yep.
We have setbacks all the time, and you just have to keep pushing through them. I remember, I don't know if you want to share this, but I remember Taya is his fiance, my friend. She was iffy about you continuing the company because she saw how stressed you were and how many setbacks you guys had. How did you make it through that? Through somebody that you care about trying to tell you, is this worth it?
And she was absolutely right. I mean, it was tough. You have to question that sometimes as well, because it starts draining. I mean, it affects your health. It affects every aspect of your life. It affects your relationships and everything. She was not asking me to stop by any means like that, but she was just making me think about it. Just make sure you keep in focus what is important and all that, right? It's not all about money and fame and fortune and all that. You just keep pushing forward. Those things will come, okay? They will if you just keep driving and pushing forward, but you have to remember the things that are important to you, your family, your friends, your fiance, all that. You have to pull back sometimes and remember that you're not discounting them when you're going through this as well.
Yeah.
And that can be hard. But another thing is pity parties, okay?
Oh.
How long do they last, okay? Some people, and we all know them, their pity parties started at birth
Yeah.
and it's still continuing, right?
Yeah,
all
victim
the way through
mentality.
old age. Yeah, it's really sad. One thing my brother and I have been great at is our pity parties last for a maximum of 30 seconds.
Excellent.
Okay, and we have story after story where we could have gotten out of this. We could have said that's enough. Our product's been knocked off 3 months after we were on Shark Tank. I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened to us where we could have had a pity party that lasted longer than that, and our business would have gone under. There's no doubt about it. Or we just would have decided, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore. But to our credit, and I'll take this. This is big for my brother and I. We have those pity parties for about 30 seconds, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
totally
for that
okay.
long, then your head comes up and you say,
Yep.
okay, this is my new reality. It's time to move on. Let's find the solutions. And more than anything, where's the opportunity? Right? There's always opportunity.
Love that. I
Okay.
love what he
Always.
just said. This is my new reality. That's exactly what I love, because the people that are still stuck in that pity party, they haven't accepted that new reality.
Right.
They're stuck trying to get whatever they were doing before, and they haven't learned how to move on.
Right?
I love that.
Yep, that's exactly right. And, you know, you kind of know, I think we all kind of know that's the right thing to do, but coming out of it is so
It's hard.
hard
It's
to
hard,
do.
yeah.
But it's a decision you have to make, like, to yourself and say, that's it, I've had enough, I'm moving on. You know, it's not that it's not always going to be there. You can never forget about it. It's never gone, but you can learn from it, and you can be a better person, you know, or you can run a better business, have a better life, whatever it may be, from that experience. But you have to take the positivity out of everything, even if it's a very, very negative part of your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Good.
Okay, keep going. with your
Okay,
story.
so where was I at with the story? So we were getting to the Shark Tank audition,
Yep.
I believe, right? So we went up to Denver, and we got up there, and we stood in line with, I don't know, a couple thousand companies, I would say. Just like American Idol that you see, that we've all seen, right? Where those lines just wrap around, you're waiting all day out in the sun or heat, cold, whatever it may be. But eventually, you get your shot. And we get 1 minute in front of a junior producer. 1 minute, and they're not kidding, because they're moving through. There's about 5 junior producers that sit around these tables, and you get in front of them, and they give you 1 minute, and you're out of there. So you better impress. So my brother and I got in front of them, and we belted out our song,
Yes.
loud and proud, very badly. But as soon as we started, she actually stopped us. She said, hold on, and she's fumbling for her phone, and she pulls it out because she wanted to record us. Because she
Wow.
knew there was something there.
Yes.
And we belted it out. She asked us a few questions, sent us on our way. 2 days later, we get the call from the Shark Tank producers. They say you've made it to the next round.
Beautiful.
It's incredible, right? That's just a
Yeah.
great moment. My goodness, was that just the beginning? Because you are still so far
Oh,
from
yes.
getting in front of the Sharks. I mean, we're still months away from being in front of the Sharks. You go through a lot of paperwork, a lot of background checks. You have to send in more videos. You have to do a lot more interviews and all that. But eventually, we made it. And we actually got in front of the Sharks. And one thing I'm extremely proud of is we went from idea, which was on February 20th, I believe, to in front of the Sharks in 6 months.
Wow.
That fast. So it happened so quickly. And when we actually did get in front of the Sharks and walked out those doors and saw the 5 Sharks standing there, we were the first company in 4 years to actually launch on Shark Tank night. Because the way Shark Tank has gone, it's gone away from the true startup companies that come in and like actually really need the money just to get product and get the marketing and advertising, whatever it may be, going, because they've turned into kind of the multi-million-dollar deals and that type of thing. More established businesses.
We've been at this for less than 6 months.
Sorry, you have no sales?
No sales yet. No sales yet.
We were very proud of that, to actually get on, and then on top of that, to get a deal with the Shark as well, which nobody has really understood. When you just show them this product, you walk out and just say, yeah, it's just a big wearable blanket sweatshirt. You know, it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but it's hard for somebody to actually invest after just standing in front of them for 45 minutes. It's pretty incredible. Got to deal with Barbara Corcoran, and to her credit, she didn't necessarily believe in the comfy that much because she didn't understand it, what it exactly was, you know, and if it could actually go anywhere. But she believed in Brian and I. We were very prepared. She liked our entrepreneurial spirit and our drive, our ambition. She could see all that, and that we sung our asses off in front of the whole country.
It matters.
So,
Personality,
Personality
drive matters. People see it. People see through the bull,
Right.
basically.
Yeah,
If you're a fake person trying to make it, they will see through it.
right.
They've seen enough people.
Especially
to,
Barbara Corcoran.
Yeah.
She's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah, she can read people within 10 seconds. Absolutely incredible. So.
That's what makes her such a great business person.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's been an incredible partner now. So it's been what a 3 years. It's literally 3 years from where we sit right now. Because my life is completely different. I was down in the dumps and miserable. And you come up with an idea. You have an incredible brother that believes in you, and do it together. And incredible family. Mom and Dad were a huge part of this as well. Along with Taya, my fiance, was a huge part of it. Even my boys, I have 16 and 14-year-old boys, were a big part of this.
Which they're amazing boys.
Yep, they're incredible, and here we are now, and becoming very successful. But not just monetarily, but many other ways as well.
Yeah.
Just so uplifting.
Well, let me talk about the boys real quick. You not only did your company go through all those obstacles with the company, also, people don't know this, Michael actually, he lives in Arizona, but Taya lived in Newport Beach, California. So not only was he in charge of the company, his sons, he was traveling back and forth through the two cities. And he's still doing it, and he's actually going to stop.
Yes, Taya and I are moving to Phoenix full time.
Yes.
Next week, actually. But I've been doing the back and forth for about just over 2.5 years now. For sure. A lot of drive, 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
There and back.
And
but,
that's definitely not easy.
It's
between everything else that's
tough.
going on. And your boys, you are such a confident, a dedicated, an amazing dad.
Thank you.
I mean, I could tell just by meeting your boys that they love you so much. I mean, they were upstairs when we were at Michael's house, and Michael's in the kitchen, and he calls, I think it was JD at the time, and he calls JD. He's like, JD, come here when you have a chance. JD comes right down, and I'm like, that's a good kid. I would have been like, what? What do you
I would have
need?
too, for sure.
Yeah.
It's how it's been from the beginning with them. I don't know. They've always had that respect for me, for sure.
That's because that's
it's something I
what
did.
you did.
For sure.
Yeah.
Something I was portraying to them as well. But they've always been extremely respectful boys. And it started with Mason. He's my oldest. He's 16 now. My youngest, JD, is 14. But it started with Mason, and he's always been mature beyond his years, which has been very helpful. And he's helped take care of JD as well, coming up as well. But they're absolutely incredible boys. I couldn't be more blessed or happy to have them, and them going through all this as well, because you got to remember, you're going through a divorce. The kids are going through the divorce as well.
Yes.
And it was brutal on me. It was brutal on them. It was brutal on them to watch their dad go through it. At the same time, it's brutal on me to watch them go through it as well. So we did it together, the three of us.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I got Tay involved, just over 2.5 years ago, and she's been absolutely incredible and become part of the family, along with the boys. And now we're moving back to Phoenix,
Yes.
to be, a true family for, get the boys through high school, basically, is the idea. And
Yeah.
then,
And then
then we'll
move back
probably,
here.
probably be back to Newport and get back to the
to
72
me.
and sunny every day, which is incredible, because I love Phoenix, I do, but I've been there for 40 years, and I'm ready to get out of the heat in the summer for sure.
Excellent.
But we'll see where it goes, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you're so involved with your sons too.
Mhm.
I mean, Michael makes extra efforts to go to his son's games and never misses, and he's
Never.
incredible like that. And you coach.
Oh yeah, well I don't coach them anymore because they're older now, but when they were, that was only a couple years ago for sure, but I was coaching, both of them since they were 5 years old, for sure.
Yeah.
Any sport that they were involved in, and it's always been a goal of mine never to miss any of their games and try not to miss their practices or anything like that. I wouldn't consider myself a helicopter parent by any means, but it's important to be there, for their games, and and they appreciate it. And now they let me know how important that was and how important that still is. Very rare occasion have I missed anything. And at the beginning of this, broke is to say the least. It was tough where, it'd be easier just to fly back and take that 45-minute flight there and get back, but that's going to cost you $400 or $500 at that time to do it. It's like, no, you know what, I'm going to drive, and it's going to cost me $100 in gas there and back. And so I would do that. I would drive back sometimes just for a night, just to watch a game, and then come back here with Taya.
I remember.
But that's how the schedule just set up. I had them a week on and a week off, which is hard enough, not seeing your kids for a week at a time sometimes, but during those off weeks, if they had games, I was going back to see them for sure. And bless Taya's heart too, because that's tough on her, because I'd have to leave her to do that, but she understood how important it is to see the boys. So
exactly.
Keep your priorities straight. It's Taya and the boys first. Usually always before work. I mean, building a business like this, building a worldwide company we're in so many different distribution channels and everything now. We have an incredible team that's helped that through all this, but my brother and I did it all from the beginning, every last aspect of the business. But always keep in mind, family first, friends first. It's hard to do. You can get very selfish and get driven by money more than anything at times. But you keep that in mind. The money will come. And even if it absolutely doesn't come as much as you want, I guarantee you've taken a lot more from it than you've even realized when you step back and truly look at what you've accomplished. So.
Did I tell you that he was an incredible person yet?
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
You're amazing. So,
thank you.
So happy to be here. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with the world and our audience?
Well, covered a lot of my big points,
Yeah.
My parents were a huge part of this as well. I think I've talked to you guys about them a little bit as well, but God, from the beginning, this all goes back to me being with the boys and, for their sporting things and all that. My parents are always at all of my things. My dad was a huge part of this business from the beginning. He ran all the finances and everything. Cheap labor, to say the least, which was very helpful, but took him out of retirement to do this. He was happy to do it, and, it's just leading by example. My dad does that, and I'll do the same for my boys, and I'm sure they'll do the same for their kids as well.
Absolutely, it's a cycle.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
So we're learning every day and just keep improving, getting better every day. Yeah. From the depths of despair, anything can happen. It may not feel like it now. You may be in a very low place at this point in your life. You will come out of it. Try to keep that positive attitude at all times. It is so hard to do. I'm not saying it's easy. You're going to have down minutes, down hours, down days, down weeks, sometimes down years. But just always be looking for that opportunity to try to come out of it. Try to keep that positive attitude at all times. I know it's not easy. Trust me. I was miserable, down on my luck. Didn't know if I would ever come out of it. But, hold tight to those that are close to you. My brother took me in. We should always have someone that's out there, whether it's a friend or somebody. And if you don't, go search for them. Find a group or something. There's always people out there that are willing to help you and support you, and try to bring you out of wherever you're at. And you just never know where that opportunity is going to lead you. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. Yeah.
Support groups are very important.
Yes.
You guys were my support group, especially when Kyra was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, during that time Kyra was in the hospital, that was so hard, and you guys were there. You guys brought food. You guys.
Oh yeah, you had so many friends that were helping out and coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, this last one was really good because it was so cold at night over there, and I didn't bring a comfy.
Yeah.
And Taya goes, "Did you not bring a comfy?" I said, "No, I had a lot to pack and I had a lot on my mind." And she goes, "Okay, I'm bringing over one." So she brings over one. It's a blue one that I have hanging over there. That's the one I use the most.
Yep.
You guys are never getting that back.
It's like your baby blanket, right?
It really
yeah, it's
is.
for life, yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it is more than a sweater. I think it's magic, I want to say, because when you're in that hospital and it's cold, your baby is in the crib next to you, you can't hold on to your baby at night. It's so comforting. It is so comforting to have something wrapped around you.
Have that security.
Yes.
And that
So
warmth.
when you said security, it's like a security blanket.
Right.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, that's what we say. It's like you're buying someone just a big hug.
It is.
Right? You're giving them just your big hug. You know, whatever it may be. You're sending your kids away to college. You send them away with a comfy. You send them away with a hug from mom or from dad or whatever it may be. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
We love it. You know, we're making the world a happier place, one comfy at a time.
I love it.
We know
so
there's
cute.
a comfy for everyone out there. So, yeah.
Yes. 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 And I actually want to bring up when Michael was down in the dumps. That's when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet him when he was rich. Like
No,
I mean,
down on the dumps in terms of finances.
Yeah, the divorce.
I mean, the divorce was
and
still
all
bad,
that
but
stuff.
I came skyrocketing out of that as well when I met Taya, so
Yeah.
that helped significantly.
It
for
really
sure.
did. It really did. But I met you then,
Yeah.
before everything started happening, before Shark Tank, before any of that. And I don't know if Taya's ever told you this story, but at that time, I was renting a room from some college students, and we were there for, I think, only like 3 months or something like that. I was renting it out. Taya comes over one of the days. We're sitting on this twin-size bed that is not mine. It's rented from these college students that I'm sitting on. And we had just gone in and out. We came, sat on the bed, and we're sitting there like, what happened to our lives? Because she had just gotten out of a relationship.
Right.
I just got out of my relationship. She didn't really have a place to live. She was living with her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a place to live. I was, who knows where I was going to be in 3 months.
Right.
And we're just sitting there eating in and out going, what the heck happened? And then suddenly, she goes to Vegas.
Yeah.
She meets you. We're like, wait, what? What just happened? And then I get pregnant with Kyra. And I was like, what? And our entire lives just kind of did a 360.
Yep.
And from that moment on, it was beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
Everything doesn't stay in Vegas, you know. What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
It follows you to
Tay
California.
and I are now, we're engaged, getting married this summer, and life is
Yes.
incredible. You came out of it with the incredible gift of Kyra, you know, so
Yep.
you never know where life's going to take you.
Yes.
But just try to always look for that opportunity and be positive. It's so
Yes.
important.
Yes.
Yay.
And life has so much more in store for us.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, so I want to end this
Mm-hmm.
on a kind of a silly, fun note.
Okay.
So
What you got?
Michael was actually, you know, when I first had Kyra, he was one of the people that would visit us pretty often, and she would cry a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So what did we do
okay.
when she would cry?
She's earned every one of those tears, so,
Yeah.
you know, bless her heart.
So we would do a little of this when she started crying.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
Can we baby shark this out?
Oh. Remember singing this to her so many times?
Yes, you did. If you've enjoyed this video, please visit us on our website. We're also opening up memberships. You can become a member of 22 Elevate, join our tribe, and you get all sorts of perks. So go to 22elevate.com and find out about memberships and all the other perks and all the cool things that I've put on the website for you guys.
Baby shark. I miss her. Kyra. Wait, she stopped crying.
You don't know.
Oh my gosh, I need to get you a new one.
Why?
This is old Sherpa.
That's like the first one.
Oh my god, it's so much better now. Holy crap, this is one of the this is from one of the original factory prototypes.
You know the difference, obviously.
Oh, you
so-
wouldn't.
That's so funny.
This is totally wrong. This is not how we do anything anymore.
So.
Thank you for having me.